Did you grow up in the U.S. or?
I was born in the U.S. I actually grew up in Bahia in Brazil, and but I would spend the summers here. So I was kind of back and forth between my mom and my dad. Yeah, there is where I began my journey with martial arts. At age 6, I started training in Chinese martial arts, and so mostly like Wing Chun based martial arts. But I always sort of looked at every style because I felt like every system sort of had something to offer. So yeah, I was definitely influenced a lot by Hong Kong cinema, and growing up watching films from Hong Kong, Korea, and all these different countries. And so that's kind of like where my love for film came from. Like just a lot of those old classic action films from back in the day, like Jet Li, Jackie Chan, Donnie Yen, people like that. So yeah, I guess my career in film sort of grew out of that. Like grew out of the martial arts.
And where did your love for martial arts start? Like, what was the reason you got into it?
My dad was a martial artist, and so it was something that the minute you could walk, like it was imperative you start training, that sort of thing. So yeah, before I knew I even loved it, it was something that was sort of given to me as a gift, which I really appreciate because it definitely shaped, I guess, my whole life when it comes down to it. Martial arts led to film, and it also gave me like a very zen-like way the way that I am on set. I'm very zen and very calm. Most of filmmaking is like troubleshooting, and you have to stay calm, and it's important that no one sees you freak out or anything like that. So I'm very steady on set, and that discipline, that focus, it all like came from martial arts. So, yeah.
So you would live in Brazil part-time and then come back to LA, was it?
No. I lived in the South.
Oh.
For a while, I lived in South Carolina, and then many years later moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and then came here. So yeah, sort of started in the South, so it was a interesting culture shock to sort of grow up. Not combative, but I was very. I had a very militarized mentality, I guess, and to sort of go from that to being like a black sheep, in the South, and because I was always a kid who wanted to, when everybody wanted to run out and party, like I was like, nah, I'm gonna work on the script, or I'm gonna write, or I'm gonna train, or I'm gonna, so no one understood what I was doing. Like nobody understood, like, this thing I was doing, like with film, and I was already proclaiming, like from a young age, like yo, I want to be a filmmaker, and yeah, nobody got it. Nobody at the time, nobody understood it.
You say militarized. Your father was in the military?
Yes, yeah. That's where the martial arts training came from, and that's sort of, yeah. So he instilled in me like I had a very rigid, very structured upbringing, and so I walked around in combat boots and all black all the time, and and yeah, I just had a very unique way of looking at the world, but that discipline like really helped me a lot. Like it really helped me to focus, and like I've never drank, I've never had a drink, I've never smoked, and these were decisions that came about when I was like super young, so, and I never deviated from them. So Yeah, I think all that discipline it certainly made a difference. You know.
So you were one kid in Brazil, and then you fly to the South, and everything changes for
Yeah.
however long you're there. How are you dealing with
Um,
that on a daily basis?
it was tough, honestly. Like I was very introverted, and I felt super isolated in a lot of ways because I just felt like nobody really understood the way that I thought. Nobody really understood, until eventually I had like a high school sweetheart or whatever. She brought me out of my shell, but up to that point, I was always thinking. So people thought I was angry all the time, but I wasn't. I was just very like intensely focused on like what I wanted to do, which was like be a filmmaker. You know.
Did you get picked on?
No.
Because they saw your martial arts training?
Yeah.
They knew better.
I had an incident that happened, and then very quickly it gets around. You know what I mean? But what was interesting about that too is I've always been a teacher. Like I've always had students. You know, even as a young kid, like I always found myself in positions where I was like leading young men or like teaching young men or being somebody who guided a lot of people. Like I would always impart information a lot of times through martial arts. I always found myself teaching. Like I've always had the heart of like a teacher. I always wanted to share information. Yeah, I think that was something too that was like really, really close to my heart. Like just being able to share information with people. Even to this day, I always have a lot of people that I mentor and that I like to share information with because I feel like that's what it's for. I feel like information is to be shared, and if there's a way that you can help someone or give someone more knowledge about something than they had the day before, I think that's a great gift to give to people. So I really love teaching, like in whatever capacity. I'm thinking about starting to teach some seminars this year. Like I think I'm going to start doing that.
On film and writing?
Yeah. Nice. Probably like action on screen, how to capture and choreograph action sequences, how to produce projects from start to finish, more practical ways to do it. Yeah, I think that's something I'm going to do starting this year.